What up, what up? Welcome to round 2 of the Living Levitated Scope Tube. Scope Tube as in YouTube and half Periscope. Welcome to the rewatchers for coming in. Thank you for joining me. I'm Stephen Herrera of Living Levitated. I'm a transformation companion, liaison if you will. I'm here to help you get along in that journey. Right now, I'm coming to you to talk about how to battle against sugar. Sugar is the demon of America. Sugar is the #1 drug in America, right? And man, it's a bitch. Sugar is hard to avoid. It's in everything, and it tastes so damn good, and it makes us feel so good for a couple of seconds. Sugar is, in my life, a plague. I wanted to start with a little story about myself before I get to the tips. Don't worry, the tips are really good and juicy, so please stick around. And heart it up if you like those tips. What up, Brazil? Welcome, Brazil. I don't think you guys have as big of a sugar problem there, do you? Not in Brazil. Diabetes is an epidemic here. If you look at the statistics for the projected numbers for people with diabetes, the percentages just go up and up and up. My grandmother died of diabetes. She was blind and had to raise us. It was a really big impact on my life. And can I share something else with you guys? My grandmother, who was blind, thank you. My eyebrows are sexy, I know. But I'm talking about something important. My grandma, when I was a kid, had a stroke because of her sugar intake. And I was the only kid there in the house when she had that stroke. And I saw her eyeballs roll back in her head. I want you guys to take that picture right now. Picture your grandma that you love, and her eyeballs rolling back in her head and falling down onto the bed. You by yourself at 6 years old don't know what to do. Do you know what I'm saying? She got diabetes from eating too much sugar. Her lifestyle was poor. It wasn't biological. It was from eating poor diet. Too much sugar and not caring. Anyway, I was afraid. That was probably the most afraid I've ever been in my life. I ran and I ran and I ran to the closest family member I could find for help. And I was so scared. Anyway, that was the past. But I wanted to explain to you guys how important it is to me that we fight diabetes and that we live with a controlled sugar society. Not where we're addicted to sugar. If any of you guys are hooked on sugar right now, heart it up. I eat sugar too much, or I used to. It used to be a big problem for me. I still love it. I'm not saying don't ever have it. I'm just saying we need to learn how to battle against it, right? We need to learn how to fight against it. Moderation is key for everything. That's right. That's right, Mel. I agree. We're here to moderate. So I'm about to throw down the tips. I just wanted to share you guys the story so that I could connect with you guys and tell you where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? Your son's type 1. We can look at that as a beauty instead of a curse, right? We can teach your son that, because he's a type 1, he can learn how to better utilize his diet to live a more effective lifestyle. I know it sucks for a 13-year-old, but I bet you if we reframe how he looks at it, he can actually look at it as a gift. And that's a good thing, right? Exactly. So for everybody that's stuck around, and anybody else that's going to be watching this on the YouTube or Periscope replay, on Catch, wherever, I want you to heart it up, share it up if you can. Please just swipe up and then click follow and share broadcast. That would really help me a lot. And that would help you guys a lot too, because then that tells me to put out more good information for you guys. Now I'm going to get to the tips right now at how we battle against sugar. So I'm going to start out with practical tips. Practical tips, because that's the things you can implement today, and that's what really works, We get tips all day long, but they're all just ideas, and sometimes it's harder to implement an idea. So practical tip number 1. Your staple meal, your core meal, whatever that meal is, probably your dinner, the big meal you have when you go home after work or whatever, really try to make sure that meal is free of sugar. The one that you have consistently. And the way that you're going to do that is by bulk buying your meals and bulk cooking your meals. If you're a busy person, that's usually the excuse as to why you don't eat healthy. Because you just wanted to stop off. You were tired, so you went to the Burger King or the Wendy's, and got that Frosty. Damn it, they're delicious. Don't get me wrong. Can't be mad at a chocolate Frosty. But we have to learn to control that. And the first way we can do that is buying our groceries in bulk. Go out on Sunday and get everything you need for that week, Monday through Friday. have all the food you need for each of those meals. Then you won't have an excuse to run into that store and, happen to see something that's going to get you on an impulse. I'm telling you, if you buy in bulk and have your foods ready and not have it at home, so what I'm saying is, get rid of all that crap that's in your house. All that sugar, don't have it in your pantry. Don't have it available next to you. You're not going to just eat one cookie. You're not going to eat just one chip. You're going to start and you're going to eat that whole bag. Does anybody do that that's watching right now? Do you guys, start, you say, maybe I'll just have one, and then you just eat up a bunch? Yep, that's true. It's kind of all the same thing, really. But I want to talk about sugar specifically right now. Don't worry, I will get into carbohydrates in future posts and a little bit of this one. But I'm breaking it down. So we're talking about bulking your meals and bulking your cooking. I use a slow cooker, a crock pot, and I can put in food on Monday, and I'll have meals for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday ready to go in Tupperware dishes. You can make chili, you can make chicken and vegetables, you can make all kinds of different mixes in there. Super simple. Maybe you don't know how to cook. Super easy recipes for just throwing crap into a pot and set it and forget it. Super easy, super efficient, and you can fool people into thinking that you know how to cook. That's what I do. Crockpot, I agree with you there, Mel. Crockpots are the best. Great way to get food done. Great way to make it look like you know how to cook. Great way to be efficient with your time. I promise you that. All right, next step. So that was kind of like 1 and 2 together. So bulk shop and bulk cook. Next one we're going to do is a little bit, I'm going to put this one together into a 2-piece too. 1, when you want to replace, when you want to quit doing something, telling yourself I just want to quit doing something isn't the best way to do it. Replacing that thing that you want to quit doing with something better is the easiest way to do it. So if you find that there's a certain time of the day that you get munchies and you want that snack that you usually get, say it's a really sugary, say you get a bag of M&Ms, at this liquor store that you go to, and it's a habit. Every day you go to that liquor store and you buy that bag of M&Ms, and it's a habit. Well, now what we're going to do is try to recreate that habit with something a little better. So let's say maybe you eat peanut M&Ms. You like those peanuts. Why don't we try to replace those peanut M&Ms with some raw almonds? That's good for you, right? Natural fat, no sugar in it. It's going to keep your hormones from wanting to grasp onto sugar for an energy. So you switch to the almonds. Don't say, hey, I can't have this M&Ms. Say, no, I'm going to add in the peanuts. You add in the peanuts, you make that a habit. Pretty soon, you're not going to even think about the M&Ms. Exactly. Thank you, Mel. Thank you for preaching with me. I'm with you right now. As a personal trainer, I've seen it all. As a former fat kid, I've done it all. I still get hooked every once in a while, but because I've gotten hooked and gotten off of sugar, I've learned how to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I've learned how to get off of it easier and easier every time. Each time you do it, it's even easier. So now I know that I could go onto a binge and get off super fast because I just know how to do it. My next step, right now. This one's harder, but after you've replaced that habit, this one's a little harder. But if you build a team to do it with you and you do it right, and you put in the work, then it's effective, the most effective thing I could possibly recommend to you. And that is going cold turkey on any sugar for 3 days, 72 hours. That's all I want you to commit to me, all right? I didn't say forever. I didn't say for a week. I said 72 hours, 3 days of wake and night. If you have no sugar, and I mean sugar in any form, I mean pastas, any carbohydrates, any of that. I know it's hard. It's hard. So you're going to stick with vegetables, high fats, coconut oil, butter, lean meat, or not lean meats, high fat meats actually, but good quality cuts though. Grass-fed beef, free-range chickens, stuff like that. High fats, a lot of, fibers, vegetables, broccoli, all of that, whatever you can take to get it down. Trust me, I know it sounds hard, but it's not so bad, especially if you put a lot of fats in your body at the beginning of the day, because your cravings will go away. But let me tell you the reason why we're doing this. Yeah, good marbling is key. You just want to make sure you don't overcook your marbling at high temperatures. If you cook your marbling at super high temperatures, the fats in there become oxidative and inflammatory. And if you have inflammation going on in your body, which, let me get to that right now, inflammation attacks your body. If you have too much sugar in your body becomes inflamed. When your body is inflamed, your body is going to send out your body's natural firemen to put out that fire in your body. And if those firemen are busy working in your body, then that means that your body can't be spending a lot of energy doing other things. So if the firemen are busy working, then that means the roads are clogged. And that means you aren't going to have all the rest of the workers in your body to give you good energy and good thought processes. So our job is to get rid of inflammation. When we get rid of inflammation, we think clearer, and our addictive sugar problems gone. And how do we get rid of that inflammation? Boom! You quit that sugar for 3 days. Quit that sugar for 3 days, your whole hormone functioning in your body will shift. Your body is sort of like a motor, and it feeds on fuel of food. Food is its gasoline. Now you have different grades of quality gasoline. You have your Ferrari, you have your Pinto. Which vehicle do you want to be driving? That's what you're putting in your body. So we're going to put in good stuff in our body, not the sugar that we're feeding the Pinto. We're Ferraris, right? So we need to run high octane fuel, which is fat. Fat has higher energy per gram. Did you know that? Fat has 9 calories per gram. Carbs and protein, 6 grams. 6 calories per gram. Thus, fat is higher octane, more energy. It's better for you. Look at all of the new data that's coming out on fat. Good for you. I'm not saying go 100% fat and never eat a carb again. I believe in balance and moderation. The whole reason why we're taking this approach to attacking it and not having any sugar or carbs for 3 days is so that our body gets used to eating fat and using fat as energy. When your body gets used to eating fat for energy, then it's no longer going to be reliant on sugar. And if it's no longer reliant on sugar, guess what that brain is going to tell you to do when you see the candy in front of you? Oh, I don't need that. Right? You're not going to get that hooked addiction. Let me tell you, man. My girlfriend, yesterday, I was in my house, and I was talking to my girlfriend, just telling her a story, and there was a red sour straw on the table. Candy. I think her dad had sent it to her for her birthday. And that piece of candy was sitting on the table, and we were talking, and she's doing great, you know? She's eating healthy and stuff, but she has a history of sugar. And we were talking and talking, and she just happened to grab the piece of candy, and she put it in her mouth, and ate half of it. And she didn't even realize she ate it. I was like, babe, do you know what you're doing right now? And then she was in the middle of chewing it. And then she was like, oh shit, I'm eating candy. Didn't even realize it. We are programmed by sugar and the big industries that are run by sugar to eat sugar. So we have to take these steps to avoid it, right? So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to bulk cook our meals. We're going to bulk buy our meals. We're going to replace it with good foods rather than just trying to run away from the sugars. We're going to take a few days off so that our hormones rebalance. And we're going to avoid any other starches and stuff that might trigger habits of addiction towards those sugars again. So if you're on day 2 and you haven't had any sugars, maybe try to not to have pasta that night or rice that night. Try to stick with high protein, high fat, high fiber. Just for that few days. See how it works for you. You know what I'm saying? Experiment with it. And stay hydrated. Practical tip number 4. If anybody's still with me, heart it up. Talk to me. I want to make sure there's people still getting good information from me. My tip number 4, my practical tip number 4 for avoiding sugar or overcoming sugar. This one is what you can do to avoid cravings in the immediate term. I know sugar cravings can come on tight. So if anybody here wants a good tip to avoid the cravings, here it is right here for you. 1, your body, when it thinks it needs water, it just signals you to put stuff in your mouth. And so, because everything in it has water in it. And so when your body thinks it needs water, it's going to signal to you that you might want sugar. And really, you're just dehydrated. And so if you're dehydrated, you might actually tend to move towards trying to eat more sugary snacks. And this is also true if your body is low on salt. It's funny because historically, in medicine, you know, in the 90s, we kind of demonized salt. And salt was like all the bad news for blood pressure. Turns out that that was all false. A lot of studies on how salt is so important to your adrenal glands and to the functioning of a lot of the, the chemical pathways in your body. You need salt to function, and you use a ton of it when you sleep. So one of the best tips that you can do that's super cheap, super simple, get a little bit of salt. Make sure it's good quality salt. I like Himalayan pink salt, pink crystal Himalayan salt. It's great. It actually adds extra flavor to your food. Pink salt is great for adding flavor, but it also has a ton of essential minerals in the salt that you use for your body in everyday processes that you might not be getting in your diet or you might be using while you're sleeping. So what you do is you mix in a little bit of that salt in your water or your food first thing in the morning, so your body says, hey, I got this salt, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go. And guess what? Your sugar cravings are going to be reduced because you had that salt. I promise. And the same thing goes in the afternoon, or if you start to get a craving in the afternoon, have some salt. On top of that, the other thing you can have supplement-wise is BCAA, branch chain amino acids. What those are the founding blocks of protein. Amino acids are combined together to build up proteins. So essentially that's all it is. It's simple. But different amino acids do different things. If you get a BCAA, powder usually is what they come in. Sometimes they come in capsule form. Just look it up online, Google it, BCAA. Great supplement for so many things, but people don't really know about how it can crave or alter our cravings. So if you have a sugar craving and you take BCAA, it's going to quell that. You're going to be calmed, and you're not even going to be thinking about the sugar anymore. That's a key for me. I'm telling you, it really works, and people haven't tried it. I actually have some in my truck right now. I'm going to grab it for you. This is a universal stack BCAA. It's got 109 servings in here. So this is it right here. Let me flip the mirror around for you so I can show you. Universal Stack BCAA. I'm not trying to pimp this brand. This is just what I take because it has a lot of servings, and I like to get a lot of servings to save time. So here you go. This is what BCAAs are composed of. Glutamine, leucine, isoleucine. This is a great supplement. You can take it when you work out for faster recovery. If you've been doing an intense workout, let me flip this bad boy around if it will. I'm having trouble flipping for some reason. Weird. It won't flip back for some reason. So I'll just finish it off like this. Whatever. Alright. So you can take that BCAA, you can take it for recovery. You can take it during or after a workout. For me, if I've done a lot of squats during a workout, my legs are burnt. I'm just done. I take some BCAA and I got more pep in my step. It's kind of funny how that works. It also kind of helps me, if I take it before I go to bed, it keeps my sugar levels stabilized so I don't wake up feeling kind of crappy, and I can feel a little better about things. And the last tip, because I gotta go, I'm always working. My last tip, number 5. Sorry I can't read any comments right now if those are pumping, but I do appreciate any sort of interaction going on. I do really like it when people are talking with each other, because we're a community, we're here together, right? Last tip, make the decision that you are changing your lifestyle about food. Simple, I know, but we don't do it. We commit to so many things. How many times have we made a New Year's resolution only to quit January 7th? Because you made a temporary decision. You didn't make a long-term commitment decision. I'm talking a decision to be that way every single day the rest of your life. Yes, you will make mistakes. Yes, you'll go off track. But it's about being committed and deciding that that's who you are. Once you've really decided that, you'll do everything it takes to get it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know all the right information. You don't have to know all the right steps. You don't have to have all the right resources. All you have to do is make that decision. So what I want you to do today is make whatever decision that is going to be the best decision for you in the rest of your life. Because there's one thing you can do for yourself. What's that one thing? Ask yourself, what is that decision that I've been hesitating to make, or procrastinating to make, or just half-assing? What is that dedication that I said I was going to do, but I just didn't do it? Because that is the step that you're missing in life. Is dedicating yourself to deciding that you're going to do something. So let's decide together that we're going to change our lifestyle on food and letting sugar take us over. I promise you, great ideas will come when you eat right. Friendships will come when you feel good because you ate right. Love will spread and come to you because you feel good about what you've been eating. It's weird how something so small has such a big impact, but it does, and I promise you, it'll carry forward in your life, and your children's lives, and your grandchildren's lives, And that's what life is about. Spreading that love and rising up and letting nothing bring us down and staying together, right? We're here to love, share that love, stay levitated, everybody. I love you. Living Levitated is Monday. That was round 2. Please follow, please share, please like, please subscribe. Maybe not. If you don't want to, that's cool. I still love ya. Maybe just tell somebody you watched this. That's another good one, you know? Just tell a friend. That's all you gotta really do. Just tell a friend, help them out, and show them you care too.